Welcome back to this channel. In today's video, we're continuing a multi-part series on prone activities. In other words, a complete routine on your stomach. In last week's video, I went through why I think this is absolutely essential if you have had a neurologic injury that has impacted your functional mobility, and if your goal is to restore said functional mobility. In last week's video, I went into all the reasons why I think that a prone routine at least once a week should be part of your program. But in today's video, we are going to advance the exercises that we did last week. In last week's video, I mentioned the kind of formula that I always kind of stick to whenever working with someone and trying to give them a routine to restore a certain functional movement. There's always a mobility component, making sure you have the lengthening capabilities of the soft tissue structures to be able to achieve the motion, followed by an activation activity, meaning somehow activating the muscles that move the extremity in the direction that you want to go in order to achieve said functional mobility activity. And then usually I like to end it up with something that is related to that functional mobility. So when it comes to walking, one of the key things is activating what we call kind of like the posterior kinetic chain, or some people call it a kinetic sling. I think when I'm describing it, I'm probably referring more to like the sling terminology, but I'm often referring to a chain of structures on the back side of your body that go from your ankle all the way up to the opposite shoulder. I've talked about this in videos recently, that chain of structures is what gives our body some structure or stability. When our foot hits the ground, there's a ground reaction force that comes up, meaning when our foot hits the ground, there's a force that pushes back up into our leg. And that chain of structures is really responsible for for preventing us from kind of crumpling like an accordion. So why do I tell you all that? Is getting on your stomach is a great way to kind of activate that entire chain, which is what we're going to do today. But then in addition to that, what a lot of you struggle with is being able to bend your knee. Part of the reason for that is you end up with something called spasticity, which is an involuntary contraction. In many cases, the muscles that straighten the knee out develop some of that spasticity. That's why a lot of you have trouble bending your knee, and kind of when you're walking, you swing your knee around to the side. Prone is a great way to start mobilizing, meaning stretching out those quadricep muscles and those hip flexors that contribute or might become shortened over time because of that spasticity. So we need to make sure we're addressing that. Prone is a great place to address that. When it comes to reaching, we need to make sure all the structures on the front of this shoulder are lengthened. A lot of you, your arm is internally rotated and pulled forward. That position makes it very hard to regain normal shoulder movement. So prone is a great position to stretch towards external rotation, as well as activate the muscles that bring that shoulder back and bring that arm back and get it out of this position, as well as advance the weight bearing. So weight bearing on the arm, it just doesn't get a whole lot of respect in the recovery process, meaning from day one, you have to weight bear through your leg, and that's just not the case with the arm. So you actually have to be intentional about incorporating weight-bearing activities into your day, because we do know that weight bearing is a great way to kind of activate those arm muscles. But hopefully all that made sense to help you understand the exercises that we're going to go through today. Before we dive into the exercises, if you're new to this channel, don't forget, we do have 2 membership programs. With either membership program, you do get access to the PDF handouts that go along with these videos here on YouTube. But in addition to that, as a gold member, you do get access to monthly webinars and monthly Q&As. So basically what you're getting is you're getting 22 years. I've eliminated all the stuff that I have tried that doesn't work and only kept the stuff that will get you to your goal as quickly as possible. In addition to that, we go over information in these webinars that they just can't cover in a traditional therapy setting where you're getting 45 to 60 minutes with a therapist. That is the information that we are trying to bring you in these webinars and in these Q&As. Again, the The more information you have, the more understanding you have, the better you can critically think about how to invest your time when you're not in therapy to the things that are going to get you to your end goal the fastest. So all that said, I think it'll absolutely be a game changer in your rehab. To learn more about our membership programs and to sign up, remember the webinars and the Q&As and the exercise vault, which I failed to mention, which is a vault of all the exercises that I give to my patients that I see here in person. Those are all part of our gold membership. So to learn more about our gold membership, go ahead and visit rehab-hq.com, and me and the entire community look forward to seeing you on the inside. But now let's go ahead and dive into today's exercises. The first exercise involves an ankle strap with what they call a stretching strap attached to it. You want to put that on first, kind of swing that around so that you have it somewhere where you can reach it with your stronger arm or your uninvolved arm. And then you're going to lay on your back, which we went over last week. So make sure that you watch that video if you don't know how to get to your stomach. And then you're going to roll onto your stomach, right? Just have this strap somewhere where you can find it. Okay. And then the first one you're going to do is you're going to pull your leg up. Now, it's not going to be easy. You might have to try different positions to do it in. If you absolutely cannot pull it up from laying down, then start on your side. Take all the slack out of this strap while you're still on your side. And then try and hold on to it as you roll. Okay? And then slowly let it out. And then let it come back up. Again, out, and back up. We're stretching that quadricep muscle on the other side of your leg, on the front side of your leg. And you're also doing kind of like an active assist. Right? So here you can try and activate it, maybe get it up to a certain point, and then try and activate it to get it up. So that's the hamstring stretch. As far as the arms are concerned, you're going to take your arms and stretch them all the way out in front, forward. Just giving you a nice stretch. And then, you want to hold that for about a minute. And then remember in last week's video, if you watched it, I said some of you aren't going to be able to get your arm up on the mat because it's going to hurt. Well, if you're in that second stage, after you've completed everything in that first stage and you know you can do it, now it's time to start bringing that arm up onto the mat. So now you want to move away from the edge a little bit so that your arm has to get a little bit of a better stretch on the front. Some of you, that's all you're going to be able to do is just holding that arm out. You want to rotate your head away to really deepen that stretch. If you can do that. Now again, a lot of you aren't going to be able to do this, but you can try and get your arm in this, what we call like a goalpost position. And even if you have to be on your side a little bit, you can start there. And then you want to try and get to a point where you're flat, okay? So a lot of you might have to start like this, and then you're going to work your way down to this position. Let me show that to you again, a little bit on your side. Then you're going to work your way down and hold that for about 1 minute. All right, and then the next exercise, what you're going to do is you're going to extend both arms out in front of you, and all you're going to do is you're going to lift your stronger arm. See, tape's on this arm. This is the involved leg. This is the involved arm, right? You're going to lift your stronger arm, okay? Believe it or not, this is working part of that posterior chain of muscles I told you about that's so important for walking. So even though you're lifting your stronger arm, that activation pattern kind of radiates all the way down somewhat, a little bit into that leg, okay? So don't underestimate the power in certain positions of moving your uninvolved extremity, okay? And then you're gonna do the same thing with the leg. Again, this is your stronger leg. You're lifting your stronger leg. This side, just because of physics, has to activate, okay? It just has to. There's no way you can pick this leg up without something being activated on this other side, okay? So again, you're lifting your stronger leg, but it really is activating a lot of muscles on your involved side. Okay, and then next you're gonna come up on your elbows, prone on elbows, weight bearing on the arm. We did a little bit of this last week, but now you're gonna add a reach. Okay, so you're gonna reach, try and keep your elbow directly under your shoulder, shift over that arm and reach. You're gonna reach forward and you're gonna reach across and tap. Really starting to get some more dynamic control of this shoulder. Reach across, tap, forward, across. If you can't, just go back to what we did last week and just weight bear, right? Just weight bear. If you want to add a little weight shift, add a little weight shift. But absolutely critical to build up to restoring arm movement. This lays the foundation that will set you up for success. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Don't forget, there is a PDF handout that goes along with this video that has pictures and descriptions of all the exercises that we went through today, along with all the perks I mentioned earlier with our gold and our bronze monthly memberships. To learn more about our membership programs and to sign up, you can visit rehab-hq.com. And don't forget, this is part of a multi-part series. So if you want to see these exercises advanced even further, in particular, for those of you who are already walking, you're already rolling around, no problems, you can get on and off the floor, but you really want to make your walking more efficient and keep the process or the progression of rebuilding that arm movement, then you're definitely going to want to come back for next week's video. If you're new to this channel and you're not yet subscribed, that means you should definitely subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you'll get notified when I upload new videos. Now, as I mentioned last week, and I'll probably mention at the end of every video in this series, because I get a lot of questions like down the road when you guys watch these videos, if you're watching this into the future and you want to know like where are all the videos in this progression, if you go to Rehab-HQ and you go to the videos tab, all the videos are in chronological order. So if you go back to around the date that you see that this video was published, next week's video and the previous videos will be in that same area. But that is it for today's video. I enjoyed spending time with you all today, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.